Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judge? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, C-O-M-I-X. So who wants to play? So this evening we asked, does comic book crowdfunding make comic books immortal? And someone who might know that answer is Ed Davies, who's going to be... is it Davis? Davey? How do you pronounce your last name? Davis, okay. Ed Davis, who's going to answer that question for us and tell us about the Immortal Era. So tell us what's going on, man.
Okay, so this is actually the last couple days of the campaign for Immortal Era. It's a story that takes place 200 years in the future in a world where humanity has lost the ability to die. So they continue to age, they continue to get harmed, they continue to get sick, but nobody can die. So we see what a messy world it is, and we see our heroes on a quest to save humanity by killing them. So yeah, this is issue 4 of what's going to be an ongoing series for quite some time. And yeah, immortality through crowdfunding, it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm happy. It's going to keep this book moving. So I'm happy to see everything that's going on. But yeah, this is our 3rd campaign, and it seems like everyone does a little better than the previous one.
So tell us, what was the influence behind this story?
The influence behind the story, it really started out, I was an English lit major in college, so just constant reading, and we were reading excerpts from Gulliver's Travels, and they get to an island. He's exploring islands because he's just unhappy with his life, and he just keeps moving from place to place, and he finds this island where every single person there is immortal, and he thinks he's found his paradise on earth. He thinks he's found the place that he wants to spend the rest of his life. And then he realizes shortly after that there's people that they kind of hide away that have continued to age, and they're hundreds of years old, haggardly, they can't move, and he realizes that immortality is actually terrible. So that reading that little excerpt when I was in English lit class, I think it was my senior year probably, just kind of got this nugget in my head. And I remember I got home and pulled out one of my legal notepads and just started jotting down all of these ideas for, okay, what can I do with my sensibility, my love of fantasy and horror, and turn what I just read into a story that I would love to read. So that's where it started all the way back in 1998. And it just kind of grew from there, and got aside so many times, but I never would let the story die. So it's like through move after move after move, the stack of notepads came with me, and the story was always there. And even when it seemed like it was quiet and gone away, I would always get something in my head and just jot it down and just keep that notepad next to my bed. So it started that way. It took years to get it out, but it's always been there, just lingering in the back of my mind, and I would never let it fully go silent.
That's really cool. Let's take a look at the video itself for your project so we can get some people to understand the Immortal Era better. So here we go. I'm trying to see. There it is. Here's your trailer. Remember, no pausing here. You guys get to watch the whole thing because Ed's our guest today.
Immortality, a dream shared by millions. As the world rang in the new millennium, this dream became a reality. However, it didn't take long to realize that this supposed blessing was the greatest curse ever to befall the world. Fast forward 200 years into a future mired with the curse of immortality. Riddled with overpopulation and dwindling resources, the world is divided between overcrowded cities and abandoned subways. A group of heroes from the underground has dedicated themselves to finding relics from the past, which will explain the condition and restore the natural life cycle. Join us as Ari fights for her life in a showdown that will forever change her and the course of human history. Whether you're new to the world of Immortal Era or continuing your journey, we have options to meet your needs. Regardless, buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride.
I still think that's one of the better videos that I've seen. Gets to the point, gives us enough. It doesn't really tell anyone that you have to know what's going on. You invite new people on. Well done, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried to do that because I mean I've made 2 previous videos where I ramble on nervously and thought, all right, that just doesn't work. Watching your show actually helped me realize I don't need to get on there for 2 minutes and talk because people are going to turn it off anyway. So why not just get to the point and here's the story and see if you like it.
And that's the best way to go about it. And speaking of trying to get people to notice your story, here's our poll for this week, and we're going to announce the 3 winners who will get the spot. Now, Immortal Era only has a few days left, and Mars City just ended, so my goodness, you guys are not pushing your campaigns. I have been a little under the weather because I got the J&J vaccine, so some of this might be a little bit of my fault. But Immortal Era will stay on the page until it successfully funds, which we know it's headed that way, but he can still use more backers. It's a great story. Make sure you back it to get your copy today. We have Monster Mashup, which, by the way, Monster Mashup just ended as well. Wow, you guys are all sleeping. So Apex is going to take the top spot, and then the Dancer, and I guess we'll see who's next. So you guys have the opportunity to steal, because we'll have to pick a new winner by what? You're off on what, Saturday, Friday?
Monday's my last day.
Okay, so you have the whole weekend of being on our page. We'll send it back out, even though you're on the page now. We'll give you another shout out on our site. Send it to our 46,000 subscribers. Get you hopefully a couple more tomorrow, and nice. We'll see about getting you more love. So the next person up, Monster Mash is over. They just successfully funded today. So I guess it's Apex. So Apex plays for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you can actually pause the video. So you know the deal. Just raise your hand, and I'll pause the video. But until then, this is Apex right here. And I think Apex is under 2 minutes, so we're basically just going to watch this one.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Ben Cook. My entire life, I've been fascinated by nature, evolution, and how we came to be. Years ago, I started wondering what the next stage of evolution would look like. The result was Apex, a noir comic based in Cess, a city built on a pile of trash. Cess isn't just a place in Apex. It's one of the characters. In a story about evolution, the ecosystem is as important as the creatures within it, and Cess is no different. This polluted no man's land of advanced technology and decadence brings the best and the worst of us together, and that makes it the perfect environment for something new to emerge. Meet Mohini. By night, she tends bar at a fetish club called Transgression, a place where her full set of canine teeth and predator eyes can pass largely unnoticed. But by day, she hunts. Let me be clear, Mohini is not human. She's just forced to live among us like our ancestors did with Neanderthal and Homo erectus. She's not interested in coexistence. She's designed to dominate, and the people of Cess are not prepared. Witness a new fight for survival, and discover what it means when our species loses its place at the top of the food chain. The future is here, and she's hungry.
So what do you think of our Apex winner today?
That one looks cool as hell. I mean, it's a really, really interesting sci-fi premise it has going on. The artwork that they were showing throughout just looks pretty amazing. So that's one I haven't backed it yet, but I'm definitely going to need to get in there and put some support into that project because it looks like a really good story that can really go in a lot of different directions and one that can run for a while. So yeah, that looks like one that I would definitely put my support behind.
All right, and just really quickly before we move on, I do want you to explain for your project. We actually didn't talk about this, and that was my fault. Can you just explain the catch-up rewards? Because everyone always asks us about that. People can get all the old issues, right?
Yeah, I still have everything. The only one that they would be getting a second print of would be issue 1 because we had an earlier bundle where it was a catch-up package with issues 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you would get the last bit of first print that I had from issue 1, but we still have all 4 issues available, and I try to keep all of my prices pretty affordable. So In order to get 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's $25, and that's with the shipping included. So you can get all 4 issues, get caught up. If you want just issue 4, we have that as well. And then digital bundles as well to get just single issues. You can get digital, or you can get the full bundle and get all 4 issues for $7. So I try to get packages for whatever people need. I had CGC and stuff like that, but most of actually I think just a couple days ago, I sold out all the last CGC ones that I had, because there's a lot of people that really love the graded stuff. So I'm making sure I constantly send mine in, and I blew through 17 of those. So that was a pretty surprising thing. But yeah, right now, whatever you need pretty much is available. I think besides, like I said, the CGC, everything's available. So we have the catch-up bundle for anybody who needs all 4 issues. Get yourself right into the story.
Sorry, I was on mute because I've been coughing still. My apologies.
Oh, no problem.
You guys heard that. Really quickly, I just want to go over this, and we're going to get back to Apex in just a second. But I want to talk about Creator Connections Panel 1 Anthology. It's free. This is actually an award-winning anthology. You guys should be getting your copy. We mention this every show. It's your free actual book to get. You can get it today and have it be part of your library. And again, I mean, you guys get 144 pages. It's free. What more do you have to do, guys? If you like comics, you're going to download this. Have you downloaded this one, Ed?
I have.
What did you think of it?
I loved it. I love anthologies. Those are one of my favorite things to read, because if you don't have a lot of time to read, you can read a quick story, enjoy it, and then you don't have to worry about all the continuity and everything. You just read a fun, quick story and then read another one later on. So yeah, I had a good time with that one.
All right, and I appreciate you with that. Now, any other comments did you want to bring up for the Apex, or are we going to move on to our next one for the evening?
I think we're good, but like I said, I'll definitely be backing that one. That's on Kickstarter?
That one's on Kickstarter. Now, Catherine Calamar presents The Dancer #1, a psychological martial arts thriller. There's no video here, but it's about a dancer assassin who's forced to deal with her childhood trauma of witnessing her parents' death. It's on Kickstarter, but only till the 15th, so check it out today. She's doing fantastic over there. She proves that not everyone needs a video, honestly. But in this case, she didn't need it. But other cases, I think a video is always a smart place still. Yeah. And not just because we do backer pause, because it's that one person who's on the fence that you could win them over with that. So always try to check that out. And next on our list today is Benjamin Cook. We already took care of that one. We have, let's see, Alpha Dogs. So Alpha Dogs is ending on the 15th as well. Let's check out the video for Alpha Dogs. Away we go. I think we know it's on Kickstarter. So what did you think? You made it to the end of the video without raising your hand.
Yeah, I like this one. I love the art. I know you're not a fan of the animated stuff when people do it for the comics, but I do like how that looks. And this is one I think I'm backing this one, but my daughter is just crazy about anything with dogs. So if I give her a comic about dogs, she's going to be all over it. So this one I'm kind of buying for her so she can read it, because if it's anything dogs in comics, she's 100% in. So I showed her the video and she got excited by it. I like the artwork. The story seems interesting. I think it could have, I don't know, they do give you at least what's going on with the story, but I feel like narration does better for me when someone's kind of moving the story along through narration, but at least they gave it to us. So I was happy enough to think I'll back this, and like I said, my daughter's pumped about it.
That's all that matters. I mean, getting your kid to read, that's parenting done right in my book. All right, so we're going to move on to our next one for this evening. That is, let's see, we have Joseph Abbott presents, this is new to the show, The Black Sun. So here we go. Here's the new little icon. Well, by the way, how do you like the new look of the show? Not going off of our site, showing off the comic book average, but instead using these placards. I actually think this makes it smoother. I think it also gives more like look. As much as I love comicbookadvocates.com, which you guys should all subscribe to, I think that this highlights the crowdfunding a little better, don't you?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, so we wanted to do that. So here we go. This is brand new. All I know is I've never seen this video in entirely. All I know is it does not have copyrighted music. So we're going to watch this together today, Ed. So here we go.
Enter the realm of Shinkoku. Kabukimono bandits raid a heavily guarded caravan, expecting to find great treasure. Arashi Kumataka, the old Tengu, well past his prime, but still a master swordsman, and Kigare Hakajima, a hot-headed young samurai, valiantly defend the caravan in this epic adventure set in feudal, mythological Japan. 34 stunning pages of stunning, digitally painted interior artwork. The villainous bandits find no gold. Instead, the caravan is carrying a Yatayo princess who was betrothed to the shogun. The bandits cut their losses and kidnap the princess, thinking she might be worth something anyway. Toromio, the leader of the Kabukimono bandits, always gets what he wants, either with gold, charm, or steel. We had an exciting opportunity to give a sneak peek of the script to samurai actor Kita Arai to seek his advice on capturing the authentic warrior spirit of a true samurai. All the races of Japanese mythology, including Gumiko, a Nezumi rat girl, the heroic Tengu samurai, Arashi, Toromio the bandit, and the mysterious princess, last of the Yatayo bloodline. Devious Kappa lurking in the swamps, and of course, the Naga Queen. This is their story, Black Sun Samurai, now funding.
What'd you think? You didn't tap out.
I got close a couple of times. I didn't need to know that a samurai actor endorsed it, but if you're into that, that's good. There was a few points where the narration, he kind of repeated himself, and it's like, all right, word choice, make sure you give yourself diversity in words. But I love samurai stuff, so I'm kind of an easy market for that. You throw samurai or ninja my way, I'm pretty much in. But yeah, there was points where I felt like it was getting a little bit long-winded, and it almost, I'm sitting here with my hand just like, I don't know. And I got through it, and I think the art and the story sound good, but I'm still not quite sure what the story's about. He named a lot of characters, but seeing as I don't know the characters, it doesn't really give me better understanding. So this is one I'd go through. I'd go and read the story, see if it kind of seals the deal for me to want to back it or not. So yeah, it was, I liked it, but it was a couple moments where I thought I almost was going to raise that hand up and tap out.
But hey, you made it to the other end, so congratulations to them. But for now, we do have to move on to our excuse me, damn you, Johnson & Johnson. All right, so we're going to move on to our next one, which is Oculus. So let's bring up our Oculus video here for you guys to check out. So this is Oculus. It's on for just a little bit longer. Where am I seeing? Tavern. Oh, for some reason we don't have Oculus. I think that we had a problem loading it. Here it is. So this is Oculus. Check it out.
Join the broadcast.
Wow.
What'd you think?
I have no idea what the Oculus is. I was waiting. I'm thinking, okay, right when it hit the point where the video actually ended, I thought that's maybe where they were going to tell us what the Oculus actually was. I know it has some artwork. I know it's a comic book, but beyond that, I mean, I can kind of infer based on all the look that it's going to be fantasy, but I have no clue what the Oculus is.
Well, according to this right now, which we have in front of us, the Oculus is about I guess Oculus is her name. She's not what she seems. She's far, far more. A modern take on a mystical hero genre. It's magic, you know, and it ends April 17th. So we're going to move on. I think you're being nice, Ed. I just think it's your last week and you're not pausing things.
I'm being nice, but I still, now you read the description, I still don't know what the Oculus is. I know she's the Oculus, but it's magic.
A little closer.
We got
a little closer.
A little bit.
All right. So we have next up The Tavern, which is from our friend Anthony. This is The Night at the Museum meets Lords of the Rings in this illustrated novel. So let's check this out. The Tavern of Dreams.
Hello friends and fans, I'm Anthony Christou, illustrator and writer of the Luminous Ages comic book, novel and card game series. I'm excited to introduce you to my next book, The Tavern of Dreams. This book is a 120-page A5 illustrated hardcover novel, filled with loads of character and monster drawings, maps, and loads of images from different scenes in the book. Not only this, I have a section in the book titled Small Tales of the Tavern, where great authors like Russell Nolte, Stephen Ormsby, Frank Martin, and many others have written short stories that I have created creature illustrations for. You may ask, what is Tavern of Dreams about? Well, it's a story that follows on from the last Luminous Ages graphic novel, which was overfunded on Kickstarter and one of the highest funded comic book projects in Australia on Kickstarter, thanks to the Kickstarter community, of course. Now, this illustrated novel is a cross between Night at the Museum, Lord of the Rings, and a mystery story, so if you love those stories and those genres, you will love this. Also, Tavern of Dreams is a standalone story, but you also find out what is happening to Thrakos and his team of new mage and warrior friends. So old fans, do not despair, you still get to find out what's going on. The tavern that they are staying in, the Grumpy Lion Tavern, is a very old tavern that is haunted by some sort of magical entity. Thrakos and the team are totally oblivious to it and are kept busy with the task of defending the town and tavern. At night, however, some magical creatures come to life while Thrakos and his team are sleeping, and even after they have finished defending the town and left the tavern comes to life at night with its own story and cast of cute and funny characters. Now this book is written and most of the art is done. With your help in funding this, I'll be able to go to print in early May and have the book to you by mid to late June. This project is so dear to my heart. I love the Kickstarter fans and community, and they've helped the Luminous Ages comics, games, and all the books come to life. This new book means so much to me as I've had so much fun making it, but I know the Luminous Ages fans and even new fans will love this. I have amazing rewards and tiers that you can back. Plus,
all right, why'd you tap?
He just kept telling, I mean, I know it means a lot to him, and it's a good book. It looks like a good book. I actually did back it, so I just felt like it was getting too long-winded. And it told the story, then he starts to go over the tiers, and he's telling why it's important. And I understand. I mean, when you make a book, that's your baby. So of course it's important to you, but that's why I cut the me talking about how important it is to me section out, because I just feel like that's when a video starts getting too long in the tooth and you start kind of lose your interest. So luckily he sold me before I tapped out, because I love fantasy stuff. So you tell me Lord of the Rings, Night at the Museum, you do that pitch, you can get me in, and the artwork's beautiful. You see all the paintings around him that he does, so you can see he's a spectacular artist. But the video, that's the point. If I were watching it on my own, I would have just pressed pause and said, all right, I'll back you, but I don't need to hear any more about what he has to say.
It definitely felt like that point where he's talking about Night Museum, plus cadence, talking a little faster matters. I'm telling you, if you watch the commercial, this is a good moment. I don't say this enough on the show, but it's true. Watch television commercials, guys. Notice the cadence. Cadence being how quickly someone's talking, the energy in their voice. You can't come out sounding melatonin during your crowdfunding video. You do not want to sound like you are giving the Matrix speech where he's supposed to sound that way. Come out with energy. That shows you care. Without saying I care about this project, you can say it with a smile on your face, speaking your feelings into the words you say. Like this, it's like Night of the Museum. Just doing something like that, it adds an explosive energy. Do not discount that. And if you don't know how to do it, come ask someone like me or anyone else in your local community or in the industry, and they will tell you. But be ready to hear and listen. Anthony's great. He does amazing work. It's beautiful. Yeah. There's no way around it. This is absolutely stunningly beautiful. But you can always use 10 to 20 more backers, right?
Oh, yeah.
A good video can get you 10 or 20 more backers. You make a good video. Now, we're going to move on to our friend Matt, who gives us Moby Dick, Back from the Deep. Are you ready to get deep with Dick? I know that sounded dirty. That sounded so dirty. I didn't mean it that way. It got away from me. Are you ready for this one, Ed?
Let's do it.
Hey, Kickstarter. Let's do this again. We're on our 4th voyage now. The response to what began as a humble webcomic was pretty overwhelming, I am not going to lie. We never expected the level of enthusiasm that we saw. Because of you guys, we printed 3 issues in this twisted tale, and now we're ready to do it again. If you're new to this series, Moby Dick Back from the Deep tells the story of the white whale returning in modern times, now as a zombified beast causing chaos and devastation wherever it goes. It's told through the eyes of Catherine Barlow, a resident of White Sands Beach and the daughter of the town mayor. Thanks to the whale, she's seen chaos, death, and loss. Of course, it's not a Moby Dick story without Captain Ahab, which brings us to this issue. In this chapter, Catherine sets sail with Ahab and his undead crew aboard the Pequod, a ghost ship that appeared shortly after Moby Dick did. Once again, our story is brought to life by the spectacular, haunting artwork of Joe Billiston, the mastermind behind Brave New Garage Studio. Expect sea monsters, terror, and, if I may be so bold, a little bit of heart. So check us out. We'd love to welcome you aboard. And I'll leave you with these closing words of wisdom from Ahab himself.
What'd you think?
I think the premise is cool as hell. A zombified Moby Dick. I mean, it's definitely something new. And like I said, I was an English lit major, so of course we had to read Moby Dick. So it's kind of like when they did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Like, all right, I had to read that story 5 times through my college. So seeing a new take on it is really cool. And I haven't heard of Moby Dick zombified. So yeah, it sounds like a fun story. And yeah, zombified evil whale. That should be good stuff.
Well, we'll see if the adventure continues, because he's already funded for issue number 4, I think, the last I checked. So we're going to hopefully get an issue number 5. I think this is one of those things that could wind up being a movie. Maybe it'll be outside, but a movie's still the same. We haven't had a good Sharknado in a while, and I think this could be so much better than Sharknado. All right, so we're going to move on to our next featured event today, which is Aristrel from J. Magnum, and this is a trilogy. It's a sci-fi action love and betrayal, and we're going to check it out right now. Are you ready, Ed?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
What would happen if Earth was attacked by hostile aliens, but there were no superheroes to stop them? Only the most outrageous bunch of characters you'd ever expect? Well, you can find out by backing the award-winning Astral Trilogy. I'm Jay Magnum, creator, writer, producer of the Astral series. Catch up on all the adventure and fun with our complete 3-volume Astral Trilogy, which includes all 3 books, 333 pages of story, plus almost 50 more pages of extra bonus material. In the near future, disgraced ex-astronaut Jonathan Devane must assemble a ragtag team of misfits in an attempt to stop a devastating attack on Earth by malevolent alien raiders called Astrals. Can Devane and his pack of underdogs find salvation in each other and overcome the demons of their sordid past long enough to save the world, or is doomsday inevitable? Our international team of professional artists has decades of experience producing top-quality artwork for several major industry publishers, like DC, Marvel, Dynamite, Zenescope, Aspen, Paramount, DreamWorks, and Hasbro. We're bringing the Astral Trilogy to Indiegogo so that backers on the platform can enjoy the books and other great perks we offer. Over the next month, I'm offering you the chance to back our project and grab yourself a copy of the highly acclaimed complete Astral Trilogy before it's available in stores or sold online. In addition to the books, we've got some great Astral swag for you, like bookmarks, stickers, prints, magnets, even some...
All right.
Yeah, I think it got too long-winded for me, and I was having trouble with the imagery. It was going so damn fast. It's like, whoa, sometimes he would slow it down and show it, but sometimes it was just going at such a breakneck pace. I was having trouble keeping myself focused. But I think a lot of these videos, they reach a point with me, and I've just, I don't need to hear more. If I want to know about what you have to offer, I'll go down and start looking through your rewards. I don't generally like when videos start telling me about all the awards that are available, because I can read that. I can go and see for myself. So he's kind of moving away from the story and moving into the awards, and that's usually when I'll tap out if I'm watching on my own.
That's fair. As I was saying, I'm still muted because I'm coughing today. Thank you again, Johnson & Johnson. No, I kid the vaccine. We should all be getting vaccines. I know there's been some negative stuff about Johnson & Johnson's 6 people. Our hearts and prayers go out to them. Hopefully everyone recovers. It's our duty. It's just a little harder for me to talk today. I don't have like a bad cough or anything. I just have the last of it. When you're in the last days of having it, it's like you can't stop coughing when you talk. And of course, I had to do a show tonight.
Yeah, it's a bad combo.
Yeah, so this is KJ who presents us Sophia Saturn. Now, I love the energy on this project, so I'm eager to hear what you say about this video. Do you know this one before we go into it?
I've seen it and actually backed it. I watched it. I think I was watching last week's show, and he was on, and it just sounded like a lot of fun. And another one, I'm constantly trying to find good comic books for my daughter, because she's a comic nut, and she gets her Scholastic and she's buying all the Raina Telgemeier books and everything like that. So when I hear of a good all ages comic with a cool, cool female lead, I'm always in, and just, I'll hand this stack to my daughter as soon as it comes in the mail.
Yeah, well, that's how old is your daughter? We didn't actually touch on that.
She is 10, almost 11. She turns 11 May 1st.
Fantastic. Happy early birthday to your daughter. So definitely awesome. Keep up the great work of parenting. Let's check this out. This is Sophia Saturn, which, where is it? I know, there it is. All right.
The teen space adventure, Sophia Saturn, concludes its first story arc with the final chapters of the 5-issue miniseries. Sophia is a high school senior ready to start her adult life, until she and her friends get sucked through a cosmic wormhole and into the middle of an intergalactic war. After the surprising cliffhanger of issue number 3, Sophia is back to wrap up her first story arc and decide where this journey will take her. With this campaign, we are trying to bring issues number 4 and number 5 of the 5-issue miniseries to print. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity to get these limited edition comic books. This cosmic tale is written by KJ Kaminsky with dynamic artwork by Ben Herrera and brilliant colors by Ross A. Campbell. The team comes together to create a fun, all-ages comic series with an animated style and tone. Issue number 1 features variant covers by industry veterans Drew E. Johnson and David Williams, as well as the limited exclusive black and white covers that show off the artist's tremendous line work. Also available is an exclusive t-shirt you can only get in this campaign. With your help, we'll be able to conclude the first space adventure of Sophia Saturn and her friends. I hope you'll consider contributing to our Kickstarter for one of the valuable rewards packages we have offered. Thanks to everyone for all your support.
What'd you think?
I think it's a good video. Like I said, it's just a nitpicky thing of mine. I don't like when you start naming the rewards, but like you said, the way he's speaking, he has enough energy that I don't start thinking, all right, I just got to turn this off now. He keeps the energy level high throughout the video to where I would break my own rule and just let it keep going, even though he's talking about awards, because it seems to have a good flow to it still. But yeah, that's just my thing. I just generally don't want to hear about all your rewards when I'm watching the video. But I did enjoy it, and like I said, I did back it. I got the 1 through 5. I did the catch-up package so I can hand it to my daughter and let her read another series, and hopefully something else she'll read, because she'll read the same books over and over again, so she'll probably read this 10 times and completely trash them, but that's the way I like it.
I mean, I'll tell you what, kids are I still have books from when I was 10. You'd be amazed how kids kind of learn to take care of what they care about. The more you like a story and the more you read it, the more gentle you are with it. I mean, you get the wear and tear, but it's not on purpose. It's the right wear and tear. It's the constant.
Yeah.
We grew up with newspaper prints. Every time you touched it, you kind of took a little bit of the ink with you.
Yeah. You're deteriorating it every read, but I would read them until they were nothing. But I guess, like you said, it's not like they're bent up and trashed. They're just well read. They're well loved. So there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, and we are actually, believe it or not, at our last one, we were at a weird place where we kind of had this influx of there are a couple of campaigns out there, of course, that we don't cover. But we don't cover every campaign every month. We just happen to have 6 campaigns drop last week where they most of them successfully funded, and we haven't filled in a lot. Some people, remember guys, and I do want to say this really quickly, if I ask for permission, I need you to say yes to be on this show. Ed has given the permission. This is not just to protect us, but it's to make it clear to everyone what goes on. I could show these videos without any permission any day of the week. You put it out publicly, you can play it. So, like, I'm not trying to be a bad guy here. Everyone who's on these shows, I want to stress, has given us permission, and they've read the terms to those permissions, right, Ed?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that. So we're not trying to be cruel to anyone on these shows. We're not trying to make anyone look bad here. We're talking honest backer pause. And as Ed said, people watch this, and this has kind of changed. I have heard people talk about this at conventions. I remember one time when there were conventions, back when this first started, there were actually a lot of them. Some guy had told me that I should go look at this show, and at the time it was Kickstarter Pause. He was like, you should go check out the show Kickstarter Pause. Some guy does it online. And I was like, because we were in a group of people, and I was like, oh my God, like it's reached this far. And my friend who I was with, who was introducing me, just smiled and turned around and said, he's the one who does it. And shout out to Chuck for helping me create this show. It was really Mystery Theater 3000 that we turned into something legit. But this, speaking of legit, here's Wolfsbane issue number 1. Let's check out this video and see if you have one last pause in you. So
that's
you didn't pause. You didn't pause, so that's a good start.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It looks good. I definitely don't feel like I know everything there is to know. I feel like some videos you say need to be shorter. That one might actually need to be longer, because it seems like it spends as much time showing us the opening logo as it does actually telling the story. So maybe spend a little more time. All right, I know there's some characters, but what's the story? What's going on? Is the detective werewolf? Is it the other where we go in knowing nothing? And that's where I would have to go in and read the description, because I like to kind of do a balance of both, because I know sometimes I've seen one with a terrible video, but the book itself is well worth backing, and then I've seen the opposite where it's a brilliant video and then I still wouldn't back the book because it's just not my cup of tea. But I'm a huge monster fan. You know, vampires, werewolves. You throw those at me, and I'm already intrigued. I feel like I don't know enough, and it just cuts off really abruptly. So I'd say a little more time would have made this one an easy back for me.
Makes sense. Let me ask you though: would the video have actually made you look at the project a little bit more? Did you hear me, Ed? Ed, did you hear me?
Oh, it cut off. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is terrible.
Oh no,
I can hear you now.
Would that video have caused you to actually go and be like, let me check this out more? Like, would it have motivated you to look for more information?
Honestly, I don't think yet, because I've seen this video on some of your other shows, and I always think, oh, cool, but I never actually pursue it more because it just feels too incomplete to me. So I haven't gone in and started to read everything. If I happen to stumble into it, I would probably read more, but just by watching it, I don't feel like it pulls me in enough.
All right, that makes sense. Well, believe it or not, guys, we've made it to the end of the show already. I know it's sad to start winding down, but remember, this show is brought to you by Comic Book Advocate at comicbookadvocates.com. That is the Indie Comics Con. Always going on. Everyone should get a table. You can get a table for your franchises as well. It's always happening 24/7, and the site itself gives you the news. Our amazing comics newswire, and of course on Fridays you get the show Weekended, which talks all about it. Join us this Sunday as we start to wind down the Sunday Comics Brunch until we go back onto the road this week. And Ed maybe can come by. We're talking about, at 11 a.m. on Sunday, we'll be talking about all the things we learned during the pandemic and how important they are now. So that should be an interesting show. And then if you guys want to see what's on demand, or in demand, I should say, go to comicadvocates.com. This is a special link. Comicadvocates.com takes you to everything that you saw today, including at the bottom, all the in-demand Indiegogos that are currently going on. We're no longer going to put them on the show because someone made the point that this is backer pause. We should only be showing videos. So you'll have to go to the site now to see what's still in demand. I know Only Death Can Save Us and Seasons are still there, but what else is there? Check it out today to find out more. All right, so with that being said, we're just at the end. I'll let you tell them one more time, pitch the book, tell them what they should be getting. And let me get this all out of your way.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we have just over 4 days left. Immortal Era. If you're a fan of post-apocalyptic stories with a hint of fantasy and a hint of sci-fi, this is the story for you. So we're on issue 4, but you have plenty of opportunities to catch up because we have all of the other issues still available. So hopefully you can read the story and you enjoy it. Grab a digital copy if you're not sure. Digital copies of number 1 are just $2. So if you're feeling a little bit unsure, if you could take a chance just on a digital copy, it would be great. And hopefully you enjoy what you read and check out at least go and check out the campaign. I featured a lot of Caesar's beautiful artwork. So hopefully you can take a look, and thank you so much.
We thank Ed for being on. He's been awesome during this campaign, giving us some of his time. Let me ask you, before you go, how long will we have to wait for issue 5?
We're actually Caesar just submitted to me the layouts for the second half of issue 5. The first 13 pages are already complete. So the first 13 pages are already completely done. He's working on the next 13. So our goal is to launch the next Kickstarter in early July. So we're hoping July, and then probably October or November for issue 6, which will wrap up this first story arc.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I can't wait to see more. I'm a big fan, Ed. You know that. I can't wait. We look forward to having you back on the show, even when you're just ready to come play backer pause. Definitely come and do it. I hope everyone liked the new
I
look
always
of the
enjoy
show.
it anytime.
I hope everyone liked the new
Yeah, it looks
the new
great.
look of the show. The reason we did this specifically is I'm heading back to the road. There are going to be times I'm going to be busy on Wednesdays. One of the reasons we moved this to Wednesday evening was so I could still do this while on the road. That's right. Cons are coming back. MegaCon will be the first time we have to test it. If I load everything in this StreamYard, it's very easy for me to do this from a laptop. I've done this show from an airport. That's right. Back in the day when it was Kickstarter Talk and Kickstarter Pause, we did it from airports. Kickstarter Pause was never easy. That did not go so well. And Ed, the first type of shows I did was literally a camera was looking at my screen. That's how far we've come in 4 years. So I hope everyone likes the new look. StreamYard, credit to them. They've helped us level up everything that we've done. That's it for today. I want to remind you all on the way out the power of $1. And we'll see you back here next week. Johnson & Johnson doesn't kill me. I'll be back next week. This is the importance of $1. The power of a single dollar. One single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds.